Today we're going to talk about farming, mostly for newer players and free to play. And the reason for that is that the game has changed a lot in the last couple of months, mostly because of the additions of the defenders. With me on today's video is ValleyFlyin. Say what's up, ValleyFlyin.
What's up, ValleyFlyin?
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun because I was going through my roster and I was saying, who are the best characters? Who would I recommend? And it used to be very specific, right? Like we'd tell everybody to get Quake and Yondu and Captain America, but things have changed a bit since the Defender rework. What are your thoughts on that?
There's a lot of great characters out there that work in many different teams, but it seems like since Nick Fury and the Shield came out, they've been shifting. You got to farm the whole team pretty much, right, in order to get them. And we agree that a new player should go after
the defenders. 100%. You got to do it. I mean, if I was starting brand new right now, I would just go hard on defenders. And what I mean by hard, I'm talking about putting all of my resources into them and gearing them as high as possible. Like there would be no regrets if I took my defenders up to gear 12, 7 stars, because I could use them in the arena. I can use them in the raids. I mean, they're going to be good in so many parts of the game. The synergy is insane. Is that correct?
Very much so. They're slightly behind Shield, the second best team in the game. Not so far behind them that it's not going to be worth it for you to farm. They're like you said, every single game mode they will be able to help you in. If they're eligible for a stage, they will just wreck it.
Right. Okay. So we're going to go by store, and we're just going to talk about the characters in Starburst Store. So what to do with your credits. And the first store that we're going to talk about is the Arena Store. And traditionally in the past, I would tell people to go Quake. And on the characters right here, it's pretty easy to say that on a standalone character, Quake is the best character. Now, would you still recommend everybody going Quake, or would you tell everybody to go the Daredevil route now?
For a new player, I think the defenders will help in so many game modes. I would probably just go with that team, even though on a character per character basis, Quake is a much better character. The bang for your buck, I think Daredevil will help you, especially a lot for these for newer players. I would just go hard right on Daredevil. Right
100% accurate in my opinion. Now, if we're going to pick a second character, we're going a little bit off the track right here, just to diversify. I would have to suggest Mordo, and because Mordo is a kind of a unique character that he's a villain, he's cosmic and mystic, and that fills so many roles that he makes him also incredibly useful to use if you're a new player. Is that right?
It pains me to say, but I have to agree with you because Mordo's not the best character on this list. But just for the fact, everything you said, he's a villain, cosmic, mystic. He fills all those roles. You'll get a lot more versatility out of him than you would Quake or a hand archer or a shield security or Drax or something. So yeah, second, I would say Mordo.
Okay. Now, I hate to say this, but it seems like the game has been designed in a way where you need every character in the game. And I'm looking at this list here in the Arena Store, and it's like I use all of these characters almost daily with the exception of Aim Researcher. And there are benefits to each one of these characters. Mordo, like we talked about, Quake, like we talked about. Drax is useful for getting Star-Lord. He's also cosmic, and he works with the Guardians team. Daredevil, which I think is the top pick right now because of how good the defenders are. Hand Archer, we're going to talk about Hand Archer and villains here in a minute towards the end of the video. And then, of course, Shield Security. Best team in the game right now is Nick Fury and Shield, but new player, I wouldn't recommend going that because it requires Kree, then Shield, Nick Fury. You have to wait for the event. I think the quickest way around that is just to go all defenders. I mean, it's kind of sad, but would you say that you almost need almost every character in the game right now except for like Hydra and AIM minions?
Yeah, I mean, as a new player, you really got to focus your priorities on what you want to build.
To be clear, what we're saying is defenders is the way to go.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Mid-game, end-game, I would still be farming them.
Let's go to the Blitz store because the Blitz store is a great way of getting some characters. And then also there's a lot of great characters and you get Crossbones for free. There's an event when you start out the game. And I'm going to say that Crossbones is a no-brainer villain. Seems like you come across him like constantly in the arena and you're not going to regret gearing him up. But my suggestion is to go for Luke Cage and the Defenders. What are your other thoughts about the Blitz store?
Second character is a little tricky because Spider-Man's good, Gamora's good, two of the top characters in the game. Crossbones has that value, and then you got those orbs. that you could get random shards. And as a newer player, I think there is value in having a bigger roster where you unlock more characters. Plus you get some gold. And you do that at the sacrifice of not being able to choose which character you get. So even though Spider-Man and Gamora are good, I might go for those orbs after I get Luke Cage up to at least 5 stars. What would you do if you were starting
Okay, so that is a great plan. And the thing is, if you're going to play a lot in Blitz, I would recommend maybe unlocking each character in here just to get your Blitz team going. I mean, there's value in upgrading and unlocking every character just so you have more teams to throw into the lower tier of Blitz, especially if you're going to play a lot of Blitz. But at some point, I think going into the orbs and getting these orbs is very important because you get gold and you're actually getting more shards for less amount of currency. And what's going to happen is if you play the game a lot and you play a lot of Blitz, all these other characters like Aim Monstrosity, I've got showing in my career, 217 out of 300. I don't think I've purchased this character ever individually, but that's just from opening Blitz orbs. It seems like if you're playing enough Blitz, you're going to get all of these characters to 7 stars no matter what. And so I think once you've got your priority unlocked, which might be Luke Cage, if you really wanted to get Spider-Man early or Gamora early, that's fine, at least getting them unlocked. But after that, I would say go all Blitz orbs. Like right now, Ant-Man was just added to the orbs, but I'm not farming him individually. I just know that I'm going to get him by buying the 350. And the biggest advantage for the 350 is that it comes with gold. And you need gold, right?
You need gold for everything. Every character that you unlock, you need gold. Every character that you star, you need gold. Every time you put up your gear, you need gold. I mean, everything.
Everything,
to build
right?
up a character needs gold.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we got to talk about the raid store, and the raid store is a little bit different because really, there's a couple characters in here that are very good, and I would say notable is right here, Hand Sentry, which we're going to talk about the hand to wrap up the video. Hand Sentry's amazing, Rocket's amazing, and then also best team in the game, which is Shield, requires the Shield Trooper. But these shards right here, they cost between 1,100 and 1,400 currency. But I like buying the raid orbs. The raid orbs themselves for 900, you get 9 shards, seems to be a better value. Would you agree?
Much better value. And for the newer player, again, I think there's a lot of value in having that top team, which will be the defenders. But unlocking all the characters, because you will score higher in Blitz and it'll help you as well.
Yeah, top priority I would think would be is unlocking every character just to get them up and running so you have trash teams, if you will, to throw at the Blitz every time you go in there on the lower tiers so that you can save your good teams for the higher rounds of the Blitz. And then also I just got to mention that for me, mostly I'm using this currency for supplies, advanced basic catalysts, and so on. You can see that I purchased them for the day. You're going to need to use these all the time. And then at some point, I just use the orbs. But I've got all the characters already unlocked. Once they're unlocked, I don't buy them individually. I think it's better to spend the 900 to get the 9 shards rather than spending 1,400 to get 5 shards. It's just a better deal. Let's go back and talk about the defenders and farming Jessica Jones and Iron Fist. You're farming them currently right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm working on my defenders. I'm kind of in the late game stages, and they still have a lot of value in pretty much every game mode. Even with a shield team, they're still a team that I use every day. So I would recommend farming them right away. Get them built up as soon as possible. It'll help you in every aspect of the game, especially if you're winning more and more in Blitz.
Yeah, Arena, Blitz, the raids, they're amazing, the raids. So these 4 characters, like I said, no problems whatsoever taking them as high as possible. Like all that time I spent upgrading all these other characters I wish I'd put just into the defenders. They're just that great. Now, who would you recommend to a new player for the 5th slot? Because we've got 4 characters right here for the defenders. Who would you put there in the number 5? Because there's a couple different choices, right?
I think for the newer player, you have to go Punisher. 1, because that is one of the first few characters that you get for free. So you already have him at a search and star level. The other characters that work good with defenders, Night Nurse, Spider-Man, Miss Marvel, all a little harder to farm. Spider-Man is easy to farm, but you're farming him in the same place as Luke Cage. So you might not want to spend too many resources on Spider-Man until you get Luke Cage to a decent level. But the rest of them just harder to farm. So I think you have to go with Punisher. What are your thoughts on?
Yeah, it seems like on Arena and Blitz, Punisher's probably the best choice anyways. In raids, yeah, definitely you could use somebody that has more healing or more durability, because raids is a different animal altogether. It's about surviving. Definitely, a Night Nurse or Ms. Marvel would make more sense there, but probably could still go with Punisher, at least to start off. Punisher's a no-brainer in my opinion. Plus, he also is a blaster, so that he'll help you with the blaster challenge. So I think that's very good also.
I agree. And after a certain level, I'm using Punisher in the raid just because I don't have those other characters built up as much. Survivability is not that much of an issue when you get Luke Cage with his defense up to everybody, and then you get that huge heal from Iron Fist, and then you get another heal coming from his passive. So it's not that big of an issue once you build them up to a pretty good level.
Yeah, I toggle between Punisher and Night Nurse, and probably Punisher's just fine. I mean, I probably take less damage because I'm killing them quite a bit quicker. Now, we need to talk about some individual characters that fulfill not only the villain role, but maybe the mystic and the cosmic role. And then we're going to talk about the hand faction as maybe as a temporary solution to get started. But let's just talk about some individual characters that will fulfill that, starting with Yondu. What are your thoughts about Yondu?
One of the best characters in the game, and he's someone that's very early farmable. You could farm him on day one. Literally your first day playing, you can start farming Yondu. So one of the best characters in the game. Could fit roles on many different teams.
Yeah, for me, he's probably, before the teams like Nick Fury, Shield teams, and Defenders, he was always making like my top 4 God tier. And the reason why we're bringing up Yondu right here in this video is that he's a villain, cosmic, mystic, so that's going to help in a bunch of different game modes. Plus, he also helps you unlock Star-Lord. So he's just a great character all around, and he's really easy to get early. And I would suggest going for him very quickly. As soon as you get through Heroes 1-9, go hard on Yondu. No regrets. Take him as high as possible. Would you agree?
I would agree.
Okay.
He's going to pay dividends even late game.
Really. Yeah. And then we talked a little bit earlier about Crossbones. What are the benefits to Crossbones?
I see him more as a arena threat, maybe arena defense early on until you get defenders locked up. I've seen him fall off a little bit as I get towards more of the later game. So I don't know if he'll hold that value in the real late game like Yondu does, but he's one of the first villains that you get. So there's some value right there for it.
So there's no problems with Crossbones. You get him for free anyways at the event when you start off the game, but he's useful, but I wouldn't go hard on him. And then we've got to talk about Hand Sentry and the Hand faction. And I just want to say that pretty much the game is designed in a way that you're going to need almost every character to do something in some way. I mean, Kree minions to get Nick Fury, Hand to get the Relic events, mercenaries to do the payday events, so on and so on. It seems like all these characters are needed in one way or another. But just to get started, explain some of the benefits of the Hand faction. And I want to say that we're talking about Hand in the context of what you thinking, getting them to about 4 stars and then maybe backing off?
I think 4 stars is a decent level. I think the main thing you want them for in the early stage of the game is to pass that villain campaign, so you can start to farm people on those nodes. After that, you got that Relic Hunter event with them, and I'm just looking at the villains that are available. Who's going to provide value later on? So with that Relic Hunter event, even late game, they're still providing value. Maybe as not as much as some of these other characters, but I'm just looking who is easy to farm and who still provides that value.
Right.
The best team I see right now is Hand, even though team-wise you can make much better teams. I think for a beginner player, they will be good.
I would say that out of the characters in the Hand Sentry is the best one, probably the best minion in the game. And, Hand Sentry you can take all the way up. He's going to be useful in villains mode, mystic mode. He can be used in the arena. If he's paired with like Doctor Strange, maybe you can get away with him in the raid. He's not the best raid character, but he's still very useful in a lot of the different event modes. And so, are you still seeing Hand Sentry in your arena?
It's rare, but once in a while.
Yeah. And then Hand Archer's another character. He's in the arena store. Very easy to get up and running very quickly. He has the Mass Dispel, so he's one of the best characters as far as that. And that'll not clear off positive status effects, even off Thanos is my understanding, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, he has that little thing that's not mentioned in his abilities. That he has that extra focus. That one of the only two characters that can consistently clear Thanos' taunt.
Jessica Jones and Hand Archer are the two characters that can clear positive status effects off Thanos. Other than that, you're out of luck. Boy, Thanos just is going to shrug that off. Okay, so we're going to wrap up the video, and be sure to go check out ValleyFlyin's channel. The link is down in the description. But basically, what we're saying is go hard on defenders and just take it from there. To keep it simple.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, well, now it's time for the giveaway. I really hope you liked this video today, and if you did, you are in luck. For every single person that likes this video, you will be getting for free in your account an 8-star red sunglasses Daredevil. This is not a scam. What do you think about that, Valley?
I think he'll be very good for my defenders team.
Yeah, definitely. If he's going to be blind, you know, he definitely needs those red ones, not just like a normal sunglasses. They have to be red ones, right? Somebody really thought about that, right? All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Keep on gaming.